Welcome back. This is part 2 of a full week of training, or week 2 in a full week of training. If you didn't see my last video, I'm basically just going through a full week of training, commenting on everything that I did. So starting up with day 1. Day 1 is my secondary squat and bench training, and I have a bit of ascending sets there. I start up with a given weight for a set of 5, which was 175 for the squat and 127 for the bench press. So first a set weight set, and then 2 back off or 3 back offs with an RPE. So the RPE this week was RPE 5, I believe, and I ended up doing it with 160 kg squats and 132.5 kg bench press. I was also experimenting a bit more with my beltless bench press, and I think I have come to the conclusion that beltless bench press is less likely to get me cramping on the bench. However, I am getting in a bit more pressure on my lower back and just my back in general, so I'm not really sure if it's worth it yet, but I'll figure that out over the next few weeks. Then I had some belt squats here, and I'm still so new to the exercise that I'm PRing every session that I do them. This week I did 2 sets with 100 kg and then 1 set with 110 kg at the end. So 3 sets of 10 here with an RPE around 6 to 8. In general, I think I have definitely not been doing enough leg accessories, and I've been mainly relying on getting my leg volume through the squat and deadlift. But for people with less good leverages for the squat, I think it's worth it to transfer some of that squat volume over to accessories or variations such as like leg extensions, leg press, belt squat, stuff like this, because the stimulus to fatigue ratio will probably be much better in a leg extension than it will in a squat if you have very long femurs. So that's basically why I'm doing belt squats twice a week right now. And I'm also kind of doing a bit of the same for the bench press. However, I do bench press 4 times a week right now. That is the lowest I've been doing for a long time. But then when I'm doing it, I have high intensity, high specificity. And then I'm doing incline dumbbell press or regular dumbbell press twice a week. So here I'm doing it with the 37s or something, I believe. And I'm going to work up to around 3 sets of 10 with the 50 kg dumbbells. That would be pretty epic for me. Also, just in general, doing a lot more hypertrophy stuff, such as these double cable side lateral things, and they got me a really good pump and felt really nice. Coming into day 2, I had conventional deadlifts. I had a top set of 4 paused and ended up going with 195. It was supposed to be RPE 6, I believe. However, it was probably quite a bit lower than RPE 6, probably lower than RPE 5 as well. Maybe it was supposed to be RPE 5, I can't remember exactly. It doesn't really matter. It was really easy. So next week I'm probably going to go up to around 210 maybe, and then the week after maybe 220, 230-ish. Right now I'm just like testing where my conventional is around, and I'm doing 1 set a week of 4 reps paused like this, and that's all I'm doing conventional. It's simply just some skill practice with pretty low intensity and very low volume, just to see where it's at. And then if I come up to get some like fairly heavy sets of 4 pause, then I'll switch it out for doing sets of 3 in the next block, probably without a pause, and then we'll see how that goes. And if I end up being able to do triples with 270 plus on the conventional deadlift, then I might actually consider switching to conventional. However, for the sumo, something that I'm trying out right now is some high rep sumos. So for back offs after my conventional top set here, I'm doing 3 sets of 7 with 185 kg in the sumo. Then after that I had a lot of back volume, starting up with dumbbell RDLs, which I will switch up to barbell RDLs because I don't really have a heavy enough dumbbells here in the gym. This is the max dumbbells, it's 47s, and I can really only do them with this pretty slow tempo and pretty much also a pause in the bottom, and it's still way too low RPE even though I'm doing this tempo paused and higher reps than is prescribed. So I'll switch up to the barbell for next week, and then we'll see where that goes. And these chest boy rows will also be switched out for seal rows in the next weeks, because I don't really like these. I don't feel in my back too much, and the handles are not like made for having so long arms that I have, so I almost have to shrug it kind of, and it's also getting me a bit dizzy and everything is not feeling really good with this. I've also started doing dumbbell curls again. It's been a very long time since I've done these, so I have once a week of just regular dumbbell curls like this, and then the other time I'm doing hammer curls. Now coming into day 3, I have high bar squats and close grip bench press and belt squats again. So hyper squats, I have 3 sets of 7 here with 145. I'm just using linear progression with these, increasing by 5 kg every week. Did 140 last week, 145 this week, and then 150 next week. I previously not really been able to do high bar for any volume because my hips would flare up, specifically my right hip flexor, and it is also flaring slightly up here, but I'm trying to build up a tolerance with some very sub-maximal work, and then maybe in the end of this block I'll be able to push the hyper squats slightly, and in the next block we can actually push them. Then I had the same for close grip bench press here. I did a 1 single with 145 first, and then 3 sets of 7 with again linear progression increasing. 1.7 last week, 1.10 this week, and then 1.12 next week. There's just some very low intensity volume that I'm doing for my tertiary day on the bench press here. Now for the real exciting stuff here. I did belt squats and I did 3 sets of 12 of 120 kg, which is a big PR here. I actually thought I was done with the newbie gains last week when I did 100 kg for 3 sets of 12, but turns out I can still keep progressing these quite a bit more. So a goal that I will set on the belt squat is to try and reach 4 plates on the belt squat. 180 kg in a belt squat, I think that's pretty good. And then I did some incline dumbbell press with the 37s. For some reason, I don't feel like there's a big difference between my incline and flat dumbbell press, but for my bench press, normally with a barbell, there's a huge difference. I've also started doing rope crunches twice a week. I think it's better for me to do this than planks and ab rollers and stuff like this because it's simply much easier to progressive overload. Coming in for my primary day for the squat, bench and deadlift, the squat went really well. I had prescribed set of 3 at RP 6 and I ended up going with 200 kg, which was probably RP 5 to 6, which is really good for me. It's been a long time ago since 200 kg has felt this light on my back, and we're only in week 2. So I can't wait to see what will happen in week 3 and 4. Now for the bench press, I had a single at RP6, which ended up being 150 kg, and I think I hit that pretty much spot on, maybe slightly below RP6. Then I did my back odds with 127 for 4 sets of 4, which felt alright. I tried the beltless bench press again, so I alternated between with belt and without a belt, and I came to the conclusion that the belt bench press felt lighter in my hands, but I was cramping way more than without the belt. Now for the deadlift, I had a bit of an overshoot. I did my last warm up here with 220 kg, and that actually moved really good. So I decided to just go for 260 for a set of 3 at RP6. It was probably closer to RP7 to 8 actually, so not really good there. I could definitely have taken a warm up with like 240 or 250 before to gauge where that would be, but 220 felt so good that I just thought 260 was there. It was not. My technique also wasn't too good here. I accidentally unlocked my knees on the way up in the last 2 reps, which caused my deadlift logouts to be super weird. However, we are only just 2 weeks post competition, so it's alright and not really expected for me to be at peak performance again. Then I had some leg accessories here, starting up with Bulgarian split squats, which I have not been able to do pain-free in a very long time. My very inner abductor always starts hurting when I do these, but for some reason I could do them today fairly pain-free. I ended up going up to the 32s, and it was completely pain-free for 1 set of 8, followed up by 3 sets of 12 with the leg curls. For the last day, I had some fairly light Larsen press, 1 top set of 3 at RP6 here with 135, followed up by 4 sets of 5 with 115 kg. The last day here is in general a bit more focused on hypertrophy and accessories and not really super tough anywhere. So I have my Larsen press there with 1 set of 3 and 4 sets of 5, followed by 3 sets of chin-ups to AMRAP to RPE 10. Last week I did 14 reps, 10 reps and 10 reps. This week I did 17 reps, 14 reps and 12 reps. So pretty big change there in terms of how many reps I got in total. And next week I'll probably be able to get 18 to 19 reps, and then hopefully in week 4 I'll be able to get 20 reps on the chin-ups.